What's wrong?
I have a nervous system test in anatomy and I don't know what to do. I'm gonna fail.
I can teach you.
The brain has three main parts: the cerebellum, the cerebrum, and the brainstem. The cerebellum controls motion, balance, and the ability to learn new things. The cerebrum controls senses, thoughts, and imagination. The brainstem controls digestion, heartbeat, and breathing. The frontal lobe is located in the front of the brain and is responsible for how we act. The parietal lobe is in the midsection and it's responsible for our touch, and it also senses pain. The occipital lobe is in the back of the brain and it's the smallest part and is responsible for our vision and sight. Then we have the cerebellum and the brainstem, and then we have the temporal lobe, and it remembers faces and remembers sounds and languages. Neurons come in all shapes and sizes. The structure on the left side of the neuron that looks similar to tree branches are dendrites. Dendrites are where neurons receive most of their information. Designed to pick up signals from neurons that come in forms of chemicals are called neurotransmitters. The signals picked up by dendrites cause an electrical change in a neuron interrupted in the cell body, which contains the nucleus. If signal from dendrites is strong enough, the signal will be sent to the axon, which is called an action potential. Action potential is covered in myelin, which helps signal from degrading. The last action from action potential is the axon terminals. When a signal reaches the axon terminal, it can cause the release of neurotransmitters. Most communication happens between neurons in a structure called synapses. Synapses is when two neurons come close enough to one another that they can pass chemical signals to one cell to another. Between those is a synaptic cleft. On the left, the presynaptic has neurotransmitters packed into small stacks called vesicles. When the presynaptic is excited, it releases a signal called action potential, causing vesicles to fuse with synaptic membrane into the synaptic cleft. Once in there, the neurotransmitters connect with the receptors on a postsynaptic membrane. The neurotransmitters get released from the synaptic cleft in process of diffusion. Our nervous system controls all our senses: taste, touch, sight, smell, and etc. The nervous system controls all actions in the body. Two parts are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is compatible with the brain and spinal cord, while the peripheral consists of many nerves that are spread throughout the body.
Mel. So I saw Chris and he's kind of he's been looking really pale and skinny. Do you know what's wrong?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've noticed that on our last date, he barely ate. And when he tried kissing me, his breath stinks. Ew.
You know what I've noticed? I've noticed that Chris has been acting so rude lately, and he gets irritated so easily.
Yeah, I've noticed. He's been so angry and possessive lately, guys. I was talking to this guy who's giving me notes for a test that we're gonna take, and he got really angry, wanted to fight him.
At least you're taking notes. All he does is sleep in his classes. Dump him.
Taking hits, feeling lit, feeling like 2 a.m. summer night. I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling beside of love.
911, what's your emergency?
Can you please send an ambulance over? My boyfriend is passed out on the couch. Looks like he drank too much and I don't know if he's dead.
So doctor, what's wrong with Chris?
Well, I'll have to show you. Come on. Okay, so right here we have the alcoholic and the normal brain. Here you can see the darker coloring indicating the depressed brain activity, and right here you can detect the healthy levels of brain activity. So right here, the effects of alcohol on the nervous system are numerous. These can be divided into 3 categories: acute intoxication, chronic usage, and withdrawal. Alcohol acts as a depressant in the brain and other nerve tissues. That is to say that it slows down the functioning of all the nerve cells. So we took another scantron of Chris's brain and we found that he has been doing meth. I'm not sure if you're aware of this.
Meth floods the brain with dopamine, the neurotransmitter that produces pleasure. Meth can do a lot of damages to Chris. His brain can start bleeding, he can have memory loss and anxiety, his heart can go really fast, he can have high blood pressure, his muscles will get weak, his skin will look aged and sore, his kidneys will be damaged, and his mouth will be really dry and really rotten.